How to start drawing. What should we draw? What stationery is needed in order to start drawing? Hi, I'm Shimmer, and in this video I will be answering these questions. And by the end of this video, you will have the information you need in order to start drawing and becoming an artist of your own. So let me tell you about my personal experience. For me, when I started drawing, I did it for fun. So my first ever drawing was drawn in the corner of my book. The first thing I drew was a line art of Professor Snape from Harry Potter. A simple drawing without any colors, and it was only consisted of lines. Your first drawing will have different reactions from you and those around you. I loved my first drawing, and the negative comments of others didn't affect me. So the answer to the first question is clear. How to start drawing? There is no special beginning at all. Just take a pencil and start drawing. Take a pencil, pen, marker, or even chocolate and draw some shape on the paper. Bad drawing or any other imperfections are completely normal, and you should maintain your self-confidence. Be careful now. If you succeed in this step, you should not rush to get to the next step. To start drawing, you do not have to draw any particular shapes and things. You just simply draw and doodle random shapes and lines, and then draw the shapes that you see among them. But before all this, you have to get your hands ready in order to draw. If your hands are not ready during drawing, it will result in pain in your wrist and hands. I am going to suggest some exercises to prevent this. You have to fix some things first. For example, you must sit properly, and the way you hold your painting tools such as pencil, pen, chassis board, and sketchbook is important too. Now start drawing. Create straight lines from top of the paper to the bottom of it. You must repeat this practice until the whole paper is full of lines. Try to hold a tight grip to the pencil and remember to keep your lines straight. I use A3 straw paper for this practice. After you have finished drawing lines from top to bottom now, it's time you drew horizontal lines from right to left. To accomplish this, you must continue drawing lines until the entire paper is black. Take a solid grip of your pencil is of paramount importance here too. At first you may not succeed in creating straight lines, which is completely fine. You must concentrate and practice in calmness. You gradually will get the hang of it. When you eventually get good at it, you will be able to create these lines faster. I used over 500 straw papers for these two practices. Next practice is drawing uneven and crooked lines from right to left. When you start, make sure you do not move your wrist and concentrate on the way you create lines and hold on to your pencil. Now switch and continue making lines from left to right. After gaining relative proficiency in drawing crooked lines, now you can do this practice with the help of your wrist. I have introduced 4 practical practices, and up to now it's efficient, and bear in mind that only constant and consistent practice and effort can get you anywhere you want. At first, these practices may seem simple and tiring, but only professional artists understand how important these practices are. So if you tend to learn how to draw seriously, you have to be patient and put your soul and heart into it. As I said before, buying expensive drawing tools such as Posca markers, colored pencils, acrylic color, watercolor is not wise. I started drawing with a simple blue pen in my notebook, which I do not really suggest. Instead, I highly recommend 3 practical items for you to buy. 1. Chassis board or sketchbook. 2. Straw papers. 3. Drawing pencil. However, this practice is suitable for those who tend to draw that they see or imagine. Some people do strange and hasty things. For example, they buy different tools or go to drawing classes. All these things are wrong, step by step. Now the main question is what to draw after starting. You can draw anything you see or imagine, but it is better to draw simple and 2-dimensional shapes. For now, don't draw professional things because if you don't get good results, you might get disappointed and let go of everything. Drawing has different styles, so you can choose any kind of drawing style according to your taste. You should see the challenges of which style is more attractive to you. For example, I started with line art, drew black and white things, drew landscapes, and after a while I chose the style I wanted. After some time, I started drawings with watercolor technique. Because before this, all my drawings were black and white, watercolor made me interested in colorful drawings. At first, I drew some scenes that were very simple, but I had some problems with watercolor technique. For example, I did not like the paper to get wet. I spilled water on my table and everywhere was very messy and dirty. This process made me realize 2 important points. First, I like the colorful drawings. Second, I don't like drawing with watercolor. So I decided to try the colored pencil technique. After choosing colored pencils as the main technique in drawing, I started to draw different characters. Drawing with colored pencils had its own difficulties and challenged me as well. But I didn't get disappointed and put even more efforts for my most favorite thing in the world. So just starting to draw is not a difficult thing, but understanding and choosing the right technique might be challenging. You can choose anything to draw, whether it's a cup of coffee or even an imaginary character inside your own head. At last but not least, you should see which drawing technique is enjoyable for you, and buy the proper tools related to that specific technique. When I first picked up my pencil, I drew a simple sketch in the corner of my notebook. At that moment, I had no idea how those random lines might change my life. My drawing was a simple image of Professor Snape, full of uneven lines and without a single color. When I showed it to others, some laughed and some said, "You'll never become an artist." But you know what happened? It was at that very moment that I realized, what truly matters isn't other people's opinions or even the quality of your first drawing, but rather the courage to start. Everything begins with a single line. Even if it's messy and imperfect, what's important is that you started. It doesn't matter how good or bad your first drawing looks. These lines are the starting point of your own adventure. When you're a beginner, you might feel disappointed many times. Some lines may not be straight, or your drawings might turn out worse than expected. But I promise you, those moments when you feel like you failed are the times you're actually learning. We all started by picking up a pencil and just drawing lines. Some created straight lines, while others made crooked ones. But those lines are what light our path, the path toward becoming an artist. I myself drew countless incorrect lines, combined colors wrongly, and even tried out different styles until I finally figured out what suits me. So if you're just starting out, I want to tell you, use that simple notebook and pencil of yours, draw random lines, and most importantly, enjoy every single stroke. You will find your path just as I did. I began with black and white sketches and slowly moved towards using colors. You might have to throw away your paper many times, or like me, do hundreds of exercises to get your hands steady, but the end result will be worth it. And remember, art doesn't need expensive and professional tools. All you need is paper, a pencil, and passion. That's it. Art is about expressing what's in your mind. It's about putting together lines and shapes and creating something you imagined. So, don't listen to those who say you can't do it or that your drawing isn't good enough. Just pick up that ordinary pencil of yours and draw whatever shapes are in your mind. Keep at it until you can feel it, until you find your own art. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it and leave your comments. I upload one video each month focused on teaching how to draw fantasy and cartoon characters. So if you love drawing fantasy art, make sure to subscribe and follow the tutorial playlist.